Welcome to People Doing Good for Others. Welcome to People Doing Good for Others, where we celebrate and honor and hold in the light those who are truly making significant differences in our communities. I'm Gary York, and I'm grateful to be here with you today. We want to thank Wilkes Communications and River Street Productions and 100.9 WIFM for this honor. My very special guest today is Ms. Lisa Barlow. She's the area manager for Goodwill, one of our most outstanding nonprofits that does so much for people. She's a Wilkes native, and she's a 5-year veteran with Goodwill, and this is going to be a wonderful experience to learn about the great outreach of the Goodwill of Northwest North Carolina. So good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, Gary. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here, Lisa. So tell us a little bit about your background with Goodwill, the 5 years.
Okay, well, currently I'm the manager of the Goodwill Career Connections in Wilkesboro, where I lead a professional team of staff and that provide career connection services to our participants. I also work closely with the employers as well as directly with the job seekers. I think it's important that we are the valuable link between the employers and the job seekers. I'm also very proud of being one of the 12-person team of veteran services across Goodwill of Northwest North Carolina, where I get to work every day directly with the veterans in the county.
You have a certain significant certification. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I have the CDF, which is a global certification. It's a Global Career Development Facilitator certification. Gives you more training and insight on the industry. It has the customer service piece. It's a lot of the career development skills you need to serve the community.
When we talk about career connections, share that with us. Exactly what would that mean?
Career connections, so we are in a abundant of resources in our career connections here in Wilkesboro, but we have an employability lab where folks can come in and get help with resumes, as well as interviewing skills, job search. We have job boards, job pockets. We try to make it as easy as possible to have so that the job seekers that come in have those resources readily available for them.
Okay. Lisa Barlow, go back to your first connection with Goodwill, how you became involved in this calling. Just tell us a little bit about this is where I really fit maybe.
Yes, so I was finishing up my human service degree, and I began Goodwill as an unpaid intern. I didn't really know a whole lot about Goodwill until once I started there, heard about the mission.
And where were you?
At the Wilkesboro Center.
Okay.
Once I began working with the participants and learning about Goodwill's mission, I knew that that was the place for me. So I asked them if I could come back and do my second internship there.
How long did that first one last?
It was a semester.
Semester?
Mm-hmm. So I come back the second semester and continue to work in the center. And then once that was completed, a part-time position came available, which was kind of unheard of. The staff that was there had been there for a really long time. So that was a blessing that came open. I worked that position for about 9 months, and then there was some more movement in the center, and I was promoted. I applied for the job, and I was promoted to the manager of the center. And that's what I've done the most time that I've been at Goodwill. So 2014, I was promoted to the manager of the center, and then I've done that ever since.
How many folks are in your office?
We have 3 other staff members.
Okay. And so you're the leader.
Yes.
How wonderful. You come highly recommended for
thank you.
our show here, and I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
The Goodwill mission,
Yes.
the retail and the workforce development. Let's really get into that for me.
Okay, well, our mission is to create opportunities for people, and that's to help them enhance their lives. And the way we do that is through our training services, our workforce development services, and then collaborating with community partners. A lot of folks, when they think of Goodwill, think of our retail store.
Sure.
And, you know, they think cleaning out your closet and take your clothes there to donate. And they think that's where the mission really ends. But what a lot of folks do not understand, and that's actually where the mission begins.
Wow.
So
It doesn't end, it begins
it begins
there. Way
there.
to go.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
And the way that is, Gary, is about 90 cents of every dollar is rolled back into the community to provide these services and programs for people in our community, which most are free.
Tell us a little bit more about the store. I mean, we want to encourage people to give, and
Yes.
you bring it to a side door there, and it's an overhang, and you're greeted at the door. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so definitely when you donate or you shop at our stores,
Yes.
You are given to our mission. 90 cents of the revenue comes back to the Goodwill Services and Program.
Okay.
And it's so funny because when we tell people that about all of our workforce development services, they don't realize everything that's available. And we always get that I had no idea. So we
Right.
heard that so much through the years of people had no idea where donating and shopping at the Goodwill store really led to those free services in the community,
Sure.
that we made a shirt.
Do
And I
that.
brought that shirt today.
Great.
So on the front of this shirt, it says, I had no idea. And that's because we hear that so much when we tell people all the things that we do.
Right. Well, what a great prop there for us. Some 15 years ago, I met Art Gibble, and we've maintained a pretty close relationship since then. You were opening, maybe it was the first Goodwill store in Elkin before they built the new one, and he was there with Billy Whitaker and the marketing manager and 2 or 3, maybe Bill Haymore and some people. So we want to talk about that that incredible leadership ability of Art
Absolutely.
Gibble, and how he, his touch, his special way of just living the Goodwill legacy and mission. Let's talk about Art Gibble a little bit.
Right. So Art Gibble is our CEO of
Yes.
Goodwill Northwest North Carolina.
He's in Winston-Salem.
His office is based in Winston-Salem at our home office. He is an amazing leader. Honestly, I can truly say that he genuinely cares about his staff as well as the people we serve. He's very approachable. He's just a wonderful, wonderful leader. He's very inspiring and truly a blessing to our organization.
And we also, when we were talking about his impact, we talked about we've never known him to look down on somebody.
Absolutely not.
And that's the Goodwill legacy, isn't it? About we all matter. Regardless of where we are today, we can look up and it's going to be better. Talk about that a little bit.
Exactly. So we want to meet the participant where they are.
Where
And
they are.
we wanna-
Go through. Oh, that's a nice statement. How do you talk about that a little more? Where they are.
Right. So sometimes we have to, makes me think of job search. Okay, if a participant comes in, sometimes we have to start out at the A. The ABCs is what I call it. So A, sometimes what's available, because they need a job. You know, you have to meet them where they are. If they come in with they're not working, they have a family to feed, sometimes we just have to get them to work and income coming in. But we don't want to leave them there. So we're going to meet them where they are. but we want to stay with them and help them to the next phase, which is better, something better. So that's your B. And then
Something better.
yes, so A, B, C, that's what I like to call it. And then eventually, we want to get them to that career. So participants come in at all different levels. They may already come in working, and we just need to help them find something better. But the main point there is to help them get where they're going and meet them where they are.
Can you do that one more time for us, ABC? That's really, I want to remember that.
Yes, so what I like to say in my center to my staff is the ABCs.
Right.
Okay, sometimes we have to start at what's available because
Okay.
people need income.
Availability is A.
Yes,
Okay.
availability, what's available. So
Yep.
sometimes they just need income to feed their families and to get some income coming in. And then we go to B. We want to work with them. We don't want to leave them at what's available, just a job. We want to work with them to get something better. And then C is going to be the career. So we want to help them get the skills and the training they need to get to the career they want.
Wow. Let's talk about your office. If a person is, well, just tell us how we get to where your office, where your Career Connection office is.
Yes. So we're located at 1821 US Highway 421, and we're in the Walmart Shopping Center. That's the best way to find
And
us.
all the way to the other end.
All the way on the
That's
end.
how I found it.
Yes.
You told me that. So it's on the opposite end of Walmart.
Exactly.
Right.
And, you know, I always tell folks our retail store is on the other side of the highway.
It is.
But we're on the side where Walmart is.
Okay. And tell us once again about Career Connection. How do we, the Workforce Career Connection, a Goodwill Career Connection, do that once again?
Okay, so there's inside the Career Connection Center, there's a abundance of resources and programs. So at our Wilkesboro Center, we have Employability Lab, where folks can come in and do resumes and get assistance with job search, interviewing skills, mock interviews. And we also have Veteran Services Program, where we assist veterans. So that's a specific program just for our veterans and their families. To help them find employment and help them to resources. Mm-hmm. And then we also have Project Reentry, which is a former offender program, and that's to help people re-entering the workforce that had been incarcerated, had a little trouble in the past, re-enter the workforce mm-hmm. and to different resources.
Right. I met your reentry representative. Can you talk about him a little bit?
Yes, so Eric Jones is our Project Reentry Specialist. He does a wonderful job at what he does. He works with people. It's, again, meeting them where they are and working with them. He works with employers to advocate for the folks that have a little bit of, you know, a problem with their past, a criminal background. Mm-hmm. He also teaches a class at the prison to prepare the folks that are incarcerated for when they're released. So for the release date, to help them re-enter society and to find a job and find resources and be prepared.
I know that Randy Gamble over at Suncrest is just a tremendous advocate for that program. He mm-hmm. says it's the key to mm-hmm. a lot of the success that they're having today is because of availability of folks that have made a mistake. And so Goodwill to me is about a second chance, a lot of it. Even
Absolutely.
When we bring products in,
mm-hmm.
you know, maybe it didn't work for someone and we put it on the shelf. I work out with a couple of guys that are just profound Goodwill shoppers, and mm-hmm. They talk about all the values they find with even tags are still on things that they've never
right.
been worn before.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like to look at it this way. When you go into Goodwill, one of our retail stores, and you buy that appliance or that shirt that still has a price tag on it, you're doing so much more for the community than what you know. And it goes right back to you know, I had no idea when people find out.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Right.
That's kind of a motto for us these days, I guess.
Right. So through our reentry program, we help people get that second chance. And the stories and the success stories that have came out of all of our programs are just amazing.
Yeah. Veteran services, I want to revisit that.
Okay.
These are folks that have, I guess, just out of the military, or tell us a little more about that.
Okay, so it's past and present veterans.
Okay.
So military, if someone's ever served one day in the military, we can enroll them in our program. Because sometimes things happen where they, you know, they're still serving. They may only serve 2 years or 10 years or 20 years, but we help them find employment either when they leave the military, so help them transition into a civilian position in the community, or it may be a veteran that's been out of the military for a few years. But we want to make sure that we're giving back to those who have gave so much for us.
Lisa Barlow, you're the manager of Goodwill Career Connection here. Tell us about a resume. How do we build a resume? I'm sure you could teach a course on resume writing. Just give us some ideas. So if I wanted to do one, what do you do? How do you do that?
Yes, so it definitely takes some experience to build up the resume building skill. There's certain things that you need on your resume. I tell folks, you're probably going to need more than one resume. You're going to need different styles for different kinds of jobs that you're applying for. But it's important to never lie on your resume.
Never lie.
Never tell something, never fabricate anything. You do want to build yourself up. You do want to add those skills in there that you have. And I think the most important thing that we do at the Career Connections is when people come in, they never sell themselves well. And we do that as humans. I always tell them that. We are our biggest critic. So sometimes we have to really dig to get those skills out and the things they've really have done. And at the end of the resume, they're shocked at all the stuff they've done, and they never really put it all together, or they couldn't sell themselves the way they should.
Okay. Wow. Resumes. Job search. Tell us about that.
So we have a job board in our center, and then up on the wall.
Okay.
And then we have job pockets on the wall. And we keep all the job leads, is what we call them, job leads. We keep them up to date. That's very important because a job can be posted one day and gone the next. So we want to make sure we have accurate information for the participants to look at and search through when they come into the center. And the way we get our information is we partner with NC Works. We gain job leads from them. We partner with employers. So I have several employers that call our office or email our office and, you know, hey, I need 3 technicians. I had 2 quit today, or I'm having a really tough time filling this position, and we'll put it up on the job board.
So Goodwill is about opportunity and going to people where he or she, that's where they are. Go there.
Right.
Don't try to mislead or be in a place that we want to help people with dignity. Is that a good word?
Yes, it is. Everyone deserves respect.
Yeah.
And I always tell my staff, I've told them this for years, you know, we may be a couple paychecks from being on the other side of that counter. So we need to treat them the way, we need to treat all participants with the respect they deserve and the way we want to be treated. So just talking to participants that come in, talking to people, building that relationship, finding out what they want to do in life.
Lisa Barlow, I hear this term in employment relationships, soft skills.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Soft skills is being on time, being dependable, those kind of things.
Showing up.
Not the hard skills, yeah. Showing up. So recently I took a Working Smart certification class. So I'm certified to teach the Working Smart, which is a soft skills training for participants. Because that's what we're hearing from employers now. They're calling us. People don't know how to be on time. They don't know how to show up. They don't know how to work when they're here. So we're hearing those kinds of things. So that's something we're really focusing on, and it's not just this county. You hear that all over. We want to focus on teaching those soft skills.
Okay. And we also have a culture of where all are welcome, and the door's open for anyone who'd like to come in, and that's the Goodwill legacy, that where all are welcome. Tell us about that uplifting spirit in your office.
We want to make everyone feel welcome.
Yeah.
That's very, very important. How do you want to be treated?
Right.
And I look at, if I ask you, why do you go to the places you go? Why do you go to the restaurants you go to? You're going to say, because of the way they treat me, the friendly service, the way they make you feel, exactly. So we want to make sure everyone feels welcome. And then we have to remember, Gary, that these folks are walking in broken, or, may have just lost their job, or they can't find a position anywhere. And the way they're feeling, we want to make sure we're there to support them and make them feel better. They should never leave our center feeling worse than they did when they come in. We want them to feel better. We want to send them with resources, and we want to truly help them.
I like what you said about a lot of people are broken. Mm-hmm. And that welcome in the door, we got to learn how to overcome brokenness. Is that
right?
How you approach an individual who walks in the door?
Right. So we often look at them as barriers to employment, or I always say broken. It's just the way if you lost your job, if you couldn't feed your children, or your house, you're close to being evicted, or you're losing your automobile. I mean, there's so many things that people go through when they come through our doors, that we need to make sure that we are very
empathetic is a good word, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, empathetic. GED.
Yes.
So it has another name now, but that's such an important part of the service that our Goodwill here in Wilkesboro can offer people. Tell us about GED.
Right, so that's through our partnership with Wilkes Community College, and we are a host site for their basic skills, which is the high school equivalency. Mm-hmm. So when we're talking with folks when they come into our center, if we see that they do not have a high school diploma, and we know that they're going to need one, you really need a high school diploma to work anywhere now, so we're seeing that more and more. We want them to be prepared. So we will refer them to the high school equivalency classroom that we have on site.
So you can bring the college to the Goodwill office, is that right?
The college is at the Goodwill office, yes.
Okay, and give us some idea about a Goodwill. If you earn it, how does it work? What's the process of working with a person about getting his GED or her GED? Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just about explaining how important it is, how much more money you can make, how many jobs are available, but they require that high school diploma or that GED, high school equivalency. Mm-hmm. And then we refer them back to our classroom that we have on site, and that's where an instructor from the college is there, and she's there Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays weekly, and teaches class. So then she kind of picks it up from there. and lets them know what they need to do.
Tell us again about when this person will be in your office.
The Wilkes Community College instructor, she's there from 9 to 1 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Okay. And so is there a charge for a GED?
There's not a charge for the classes that are held at our center. I think there is a charge for if you actually take the high school, the equivalency test, which is the high set test. When you do those tests, there is a charge, but there's different scholarships that you can apply for. Goodwill has scholarships that can help pay for that.
So no one will ever be turned away because of not being able to afford a service. We'll find a way.
Right. All of our services at the Wilkesboro Career Center is free, so there's no charge to any of our services.
So whatever the myth might be, that can go away, because if you'll come in the door, we'll find a way.
That's right, exactly.
Right. Community impact of Goodwill. Let's talk about, in general, how it enhances lives of folks.
I think it's just seeing the success stories, seeing where people go, where they start and where they end up, and just the amazing things that we've seen. Amazing,
Wow.
absolutely.
Well, you're a good fit for that.
Thank
you. We know that your heart's in the right place.
Thank you.
Communities and schools, you work closely with those folks.
So
Glendora, Yarborough.
Yes.
Yeah.
So communities and schools, we partnered with them since 2017. And what we've done is went into the high schools with them, and we're teaching interviewing skills and telling the students what the employers are looking for.
Wow.
And that kind of thing.
I want to thank you for being here. What an interesting moments we've had, and how much I've learned. I'm just so excited about the Goodwill mission. And I want to thank Wilkes Communications and River Street Productions and WIFM. So, Lisa Barlow, you also travel quite a bit.
Yes.
You go to Boone and work with folks. You just kind of, wherever the need might be, then you can fill right in.
Yes, I do. So I do a lot of outreach in Boone. We want to make sure we support those counties that have retail stores. Recently went into the high school in Boone and served 181 students in one day, teaching them interviewing skills.
Interviewing skills.
And how to dress for an interview.
Okay. You're grateful, I sense that, for your opportunity at Goodwill. Just how the goodness that comes out of you because of the opportunity. We do that?
Yes. I can tell you, Gary, I have been so blessed to work for such an amazing organization. I'm very humbled. I have the best staff. I could not do what I do without them. And it's just been amazing. And the most rewarding thing about my position is not to only hear the success stories and the impact in the community, but to be a part of it is the most rewarding.
Wow. Well, Lisa Barlow, you sure have shared with us today your experience and your hope.
Thank you.
And your encouragement for folks. You're willing to meet them wherever they need to be to get the Goodwill mission is about opportunity and helping people in a special way.
Yes.
And you've blessed us today, and I thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa Barlow, she's the manager of the Goodwill Career Connection in the Walmart Shopping Center. Visit them and get to know this wonderful organization as they seek and find ways to serve our Lord, family, and friends in worthy causes. And Goodwill is a worthy cause. Thank you.